Welcome back to the Nintendo Wiretap. I'm your host, Amiibo Jason, and on today's episode, we're taking a look inside the brand new, just opened Toys R Us. That's right, it's back. So, without further ado, let's take a look. Alright folks, before I start the story, I do want to clear the air real quick about Toys R Us. Now yes, I completely understand 2 years ago Toys R Us, under terrible management, closed their doors, and a lot of people lost their jobs. But the Toys R Us that opened in New Jersey is not under the same ownership as the Toys R Us Corporation that closed down. In fact, it's a much smaller operation. When you take a look at the stores that opened up, they are significantly smaller than the Toys R Us's that we used to know and love. That being said, like I mentioned before, a lot of people lost their jobs when Toys R Us closed their doors, but I don't think it's fair to say that this new Toys R Us is doing something bad, or that it was some sort of scheme to lay off all these employees and not give them severance. I think this is a new corporation under new ownership attempting to rebuild a brand that was damaged beyond belief by improper management. So, with that being said, I'm excited about this Toys R Us. I hope they expand outside of the 2 locations that have been confirmed to be coming. But let's take a look at the brand new one that just opened up in New Jersey. Alright, this new Toys R Us location is opened up in Garden State Plaza in Paramus, New Jersey. I hope I'm saying that right. And like I said before, it's much smaller than you would imagine a Toys R Us to be. But I wouldn't say it's small like let's say a KB Toys, if you're old enough to remember that, or a Toys R Us Express. This is something kind of in between what we saw before and those kind of small niche toy stores that we used to have in malls. So, what can you expect if you go into this Toys R Us? Well, every section of this Toys R Us appears to be specifically for a certain type of toy. So on one side of the store, you might see an entire section dedicated to Lego with its own kind of coloring and branding. There's an LOL surprise section if you have a young daughter or maybe somebody that you know that's into that kind of thing. They're crazy popular right now. I know that because my daughter is obsessed with them. And of course, there is a dedicated Nintendo section. And this Nintendo section is actually pretty cool. It kind of looks like a mini Nintendo store that you would see in New York. There's a demo that you can actually play Nintendo Switch consoles in both handhelds and on a big TV. They have Nintendo Switch lights and consoles out on display, and of course, they have games. The one thing I don't see in any of the images is Amiibo, which is a crying shame. I really hope that I'm just not seeing them in the photos that Nintendo provided, because Toys R Us needs to have Amiibo. I mean, it's the whole reason I used to go there. Now, these new Toys R Us stores are really designed to be kind of an experience. Yes, you can go and buy toys and shop, but there's also events that you can go to on a pretty regular basis. There's a playroom inside, they have events for small kids to just go and have fun and learn about things. This new Toys R Us is definitely a brand new experience, but that being said, I'm excited to see this kind of store open up nationwide. Now, there's another location that supposedly just opened today, even though I haven't seen anything about the grand opening, and on top of that, we also got confirmation from the good folks at IGN that Toys R Us is planning to open 10 additional stores sometime in 2020. Now, where those stores are going to be, that's yet to be seen, but I'm excited and I'm really hoping to see something in the Midwest, because that's where I am, and I'm really curious to see if Toys R Us can somehow make their way back to the terrible position they were 2 years ago. So hopefully this new ownership and these new Toys R Us experiences really pay off. But there you go, folks, your first look inside the brand new Toys R Us. I'm really curious to see what your thoughts are about this. Do you like this new layout? Did you miss Toys R Us as much as I did? Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below. And that's going to wrap up tonight's Nintendo Wiretap. I'll see you soon with yet another episode, but as always, until then, stay wired in. Bye, guys.